what I ended up doing was poking around into the internet, and then I found stuff about L. Ron Hubbard and different things that were not good. And I started thinking, gosh, that's like different than what I thought. Right. And so I just kept doing that. And then Mike, got me connected with your podcasts, and then told me about your books. And I just kept doing all this stuff. And when I came to the end of it, because I'm in this place all by myself, I kind of just deprogrammed myself, and I thought, I got to get out of here. I'm like in the wrong. This is crazy. The first part of it, though, was me listening to your podcasts and knowing people that were on there, like Jeff Hawkins and different people that I worked with, and just the stories of that. Like it took every day. I would do it over and over again, and then listen to your book, listen to Mark's book, like I said, and Jenna's book. But the biggest thing that I still had to get rid of was, I'm thinking, I still believed in LRH.
Right.
Like it was all this stuff.
Right.
But I still was holding on to that. Until you get rid of that part, the whole thing crumbles down as soon as you realize that LRH is a big piece of shit. You know what I mean?
I do.
And what caused that for you, Rosemary?
Yeah.
Watching that Going Clear documentary. When I watched that, I could remember I went outside with my walker, and I'm walking. They would only let me walk in front of the house. And I thought, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I just felt like running down the street.
Right.
Until then, I was still hanging on to this hope about L. Ron Hubbard. And then I was able to see the truth. I don't even know. It was sort of like you finally came to. And that's what happened to me. And it was all because of my son giving me all this slowly and gently. He wouldn't even push me to do it. He'd just say, oh, I had something else. If you want to watch it, you can. If you don't. And I would just gobble it up,
Right.
And,
because had he been forceful with you, it would have probably had the opposite effect. Do you think?
I would probably, because you're sort of like a little wild, when you're trying to tame a little rabbit or kitten or something, when you're easily frightened from things. And if you just do it on your own, at your own pace,
right.
That's how you can't be pressured. And he never did pressure me one bit. He was so gentle with everything. He just put it there. If I want to read it, okay. If not, and I would just, as soon as he'd leave, I'd get into it and read and get into the whole thing.
The main thing that I remember when I was there is you have all these very strong beliefs that you've invested yourself in very heavily through time, through your, investment of what your life's work is, or monetarily. And for Sea Org Public, which as a Sea Org member, that's not really the case, but your life's work has been there. So for you to just invalidate all of that all at once, it felt devastating for me coming out, realizing that I had wasted, the better part of my early years, that I could have been doing something else with my life. So having that all crumble down, I didn't want her to have that, but I wanted her to also have the ability to look at things for themselves. This would have been about, 17 and a half, 18 years when we started working through this, that we were able to start to, just slowly have the conversations. It's either by email or me when I'm driving home, I'm calling her on the phone and just listening to what she has to say, because now she's in a great place where she can complain about the things she wasn't happy about. That's also something you can never do. So the people around you think it's only you if you have a complaint or if something's in your head, and you keep tamping it down. So now she could natter like, hey, I didn't like that, I was living like crap and my money was being taken from me.
When you you sort of pluck up the courage to take a look at some of these things, or listen to a podcast, or watch the aftermath, or Going Clear, or whatever, you yourself, like you said, see people that you knew. And that is incredibly important in my view, not just because you knew them, but because when they talk about their experiences, you go, well, yep, I saw it myself, or that happened to me.
Yeah.
And when you then compare the other things that they have to say that you may not have seen, but you give it a lot more credence because you know that their experiences that you have shared or that you have witnessed, they're telling the truth about. So why would they be lying about anything else? If you can communicate to someone that the person that they're going to hear from is someone who has shared experiences, or you may know, or is in a similar position to you, it gives them a lot of credence. And I think that people will tend to listen more to what those people say. You talked about Jeff Hawkins and seeing Jeff Hawkins and hearing him on the podcast and other people you knew. And I went, yeah, I guess that's pretty powerful.
It
because
is.
You know those people, you know what they went through, you know, and have experienced similar stuff.
And then I'm going, oh my God, they're out. You know, so they're on, you know, something must have happened.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so,
And you didn't know that, right, Rosemary?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.